Hello everyone, boys and girls, or women and men, or men and women, however you want to word it. Okay, let me get my camera straight or whatever. Let's see, is my head on straight? Please don't give up on me, because one thing about my videos, I talk slow and I demonstrate slow. But I'll tell you what, if you'll watch my videos on any repair or about car parts or Harley parts, you'll come out ahead. Because I don't fast talk, and if I don't know about something, I'm not going to make a video on it. It's as simple as that. Alright, what I'm going to talk about is Harley Mikuni carburetors. Okay? I don't know about other Mikuni carburetors that go on go-karts or mini bikes. I know about Harley Davidson motorcycle, your Evolutions, well, your shovel heads, Evolutions, and your early twin cam. Because I know these fit on the twin cam, I know up till 2003. Because my 2002 Harley Softail Custom 1450 has a Mikuni 42 millimeter on it. Okay, and so does my 97 Fat Boy, a 1997 Fat Boy, which both of those Harleys, I have videos on them. If you look in my channel, go down the list, they're both in my channel. Okay, but anyway, I recently, on my 1997 Fat Boy, I pulled the original Mikuni carburetor off of it. And it is the original Mikuni carburetor because it is the 42 millimeter, the HS42, and then it also, that number ends with 42. You have to be careful not to get that confused with HS42, because HS42 can stand for the 42 millimeter, 45 millimeter, or 48 millimeter. You have there's a difference, yeah. But HSR42 is your 42 millimeter. All right. And I've got two carburetors here I'm going to show. So I've got, where I can demonstrate. Okay, the carburetor I took off of my 97 Fat Boy. This is a Mikuni HSR42, 42 millimeter. Now the way you determine this is on the back. On some of them, they have a marking. It's right over in here, or it can be over on this side, right over here between the hole and up here, and it'll say TM42 or TM45 or 48. You can distinguish. But my original Mikuni, it's got, the impression of Mikuni on the side of this carburetor. Let's see, where you at? There it is, right there. On this side right here, if y'all can see that good. I don't know how well this lighting is or whatever, okay? But here's how to distinguish what size carburetor you have, like a 42 millimeter or whatever, or whether it's a 42, a 45, or 48. Alright, if you take one off of your bike. Alright, a millimeter gauge. And actually, you don't even need like the display here. You can just go to the parts store and just buy the slide rule. And like, let's pull this one all the way back here. Alright. And like, what you would do, you'd want to get the inner diameter. See, like inside the diameter where the zero starts, and then look on the inner part, not from outside to outside, because the outside of a 42 millimeter is going to give you a 46 millimeter reading. you want the inner ID diameter, inner diameter, from the inner part of the top of it to the bottom. You can take a millimeter slide rule and just hold it up there, you know, and measure. And if you get 42 millimeters, that's what size carburetor you have. Or if you've got one of these that it has the digital gauge like I've got right here, well, you know, you can just, you know, separate your claws for your ID, you know, into the inner diameter, and it'll give you a reading here, you know. You know, you can do that either way. But that's how you determine. It's easy to do. Look, anybody can do it. You don't even have to, you can be like I am generally. I'm still into inches. I'm not into metrics or all that, but I'm forced to because of, you know, parts assemblies today. You can go buy a millimeter slide rule at any part store. It doesn't even have to have the gauge on it for $5 or so. And you can hold it up and just whatever it says, it's a matter of numbers. It's actually easier to read than inches, because like you take, if something is, you know, let's say 42 millimeters, 0.1, you know, you can see the little dots on it, and you can decipher what it is and just compare it to what, you know, this is a 42 millimeter carburetor, you know, I took out of my Harley. Alright, now this carburetor, one just like it, brand new, will cost you $300. It will cost you $300. But, now this is to consider some things, some controversy, and a lot of people wonder, what about these carburetors I see for 80 to 90, some of them for 100 on eBay? Are they worthwhile? Well, I don't know about all of them, but here's one. I bought this 8 days ago on eBay for $87. $87 with free shipping. With tax, it came out to $95.25. This weighs slightly over 3 pounds, just like the original Mikuni I took off. I took the fuel bowl off of this to make sure both of the jets were in there tight. It had good brass jets with the markings on them, you know, like the one, you know, that's right under your bolt nut on the bottom of your fuel bowl. It's a 160, and the imprint is clear to read. It's quality parts. I've checked the slide needle in this, quality parts. It weighs the same, and in some ways it's superior, like it has a superior brass air mixture screw here on the side. You know, I'm trying to make it to where y'all can see it. Okay, you know, air mixture screw. Your air mixture screw is behind the front of the carburetor bore, and almost parallel to where the fuel line goes in. Also notice the fuel line part right here is made out of metal. I like that. I like that. And here's this idle mixture screw. You see just to the right of it. Right here is that air mixture screw. It's made out of brass. Now I checked that. It was turned out 3/4. 3/4 turn. Okay, they suggest on these to turn them out 1.5 turns. Turn them all the way in till they stop, and then take them out 1.5 turns. That's the adjustment on that, on these air mixture screws. They're actually air idle mixture screws, because that is all that is for your idle. It's so that they will idle right. And they should be manually adjusted, whether you've got it out 1.5 turns like I do on here. Manually adjust them after the bike is warm, and to get a proper, the best idle. The way you do it is you turn it in until the idle drops down. Then you turn it out until the idle is the highest it will get. And then at that point, turn it in slightly. And you shouldn't ever be past 2 turns out, usually. And then adjust your regular idle, of course, with your idle speed screw right here, which is also air also. You know, it has a port that goes inside the throttle, you know, the bore here, to where it reduces air or increases air to make your engine idle faster or lower. You turn these to the right, you're from the right side of the motorcycle. Turn them to the right, your engine will idle faster. You turn them to the left, counterclockwise, your engine will idle slower. Okay? And I've checked out the integrity of this, and I'm a master mechanic. I mean, I have experience in this stuff, a lot of experience in this stuff. And I can tell you right now, I've checked this, the integrity of this is as good as those $300 Mikunis. I don't know who built it, the Japanese, the Chinese, I don't know. But I do know this, they did a good job, and they cared about their work. One other thing I want to add, when you buy these new, first thing you do, hold them upside down like this with the fuel bowl at the top. Try to blow through the fuel line inlet. Try to blow through it. If you can blow through it, you've got a problem with the needle or the flow. If you can't blow through it, that part's working. Then flip it right side up and try to blow through it. You should be able to blow through it with ease. If that test comes out right, you're A-OK. That's all there is to it. And then to check your throttle, you know, when you give it throttle, your needle here that sprays gasoline, here's what I do. Forget about the gasoline. Get a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, most people call it, and just squirt it down in the fuel hole, you know, until you about halfway fill up that fuel bowl. And then work your throttle at top. Put your finger in front of that part, you know, back here by the plate. And then turn your throttle about 3 or 4 times. If it sprays right in the middle and sprays on your finger, presto, you're okay. Because see, these things can be manually turned. Because they're not screwed in, they're pushed in with an O-ring from inside the fuel bowl. You know, and they have an O-ring and they're just pushed up in there. And they can be turned to adjust them. Make sure they're spraying right smack dab in the middle, and you just put your finger behind it and you can check to see, you know, and all you need is rubbing alcohol. You don't have to be messing with gasoline and a bunch of crap like that. You know, it's simple. Okay, what else do I need? Oh, when you go to put your throttle cables back on these, let me tell you people a trick. Instead of having to loosen your adjusters up by your handlebars for your throttle cables, look, there's a little bolt back here that you can get off with a Phillips or a small wrench. Take this little bolt out and just take this off and don't lose the bolt. Connect your throttle cables and then put this on here and just push it around like that and put the little bolt back in. See, that's so much easier than loosening the return throttle line and the accelerator throttle line up all the handlebars. You don't have to do all that shit. You know, that's very easy. And installing these chokes, you know, I took the choke off my old one, and I've checked it out. I installed it on this one. It was a fit, you know, and everything. Yeah, this is a good one. I'll tell you, I've got faith in it. I mean, $87 versus $300. I don't know. You know, there's another Harley mechanic, and he's good too. He's called Two Wheel Rocco. He commented on these $80 carburetors, and he said he likes them. He likes them. You know, so, all right. Now, before I cause a catastrophe here, let me put these back in my holding place so things don't get messed up. Alright, set this one here. Alright, that's the new one. Now put the original one up here. You know, and don't give up. I've got some more interesting things to tell you people. Okay, you know, that carburetor I've got that I paid $87 for plus tax, do you know they even, a little bag it came in, they actually put a new fuel line clamp in it, as well as an adapter for people with the different type of an air cleaner. I still have the clamp-on type air cleaner with the round air cleaner cover. I like those. Let's see. And 4 extra jets. 4 extra jets. You know, let's see. It's got a 48 millimeter, you know, the idle jet in it now. But it's also got a 49 and a 50 extra in case you want to bump it up. And then the main jet, I've got the 160 in there. It's got 2 more of those. So where you can go to it. That was extra effort on their part they didn't have to do. Wow, that's pretty damned amazing or whatever. But I would already have that on the 97 Fat Boy. The reason I haven't, because it's not going to be till Monday, I'm going to get the rubber boot adapter. My intake is the design. Now this will fit either design manifold, but mine has, it's not an SS, but it's an original Mikuni intake manifold. You know, the part that bolts to the heads, you know, with the ear clamps and the O-rings, that's the same. But the part that goes to the carburetor, it's got a flange, and it's oval shaped. I'll show y'all what I mean. They call those the flange boot seals. See, it's this, it's shaped like this, right here, and it's got 2 bolt holes, and this bolts to the intake manifold. Not the head, but the intake manifold for the carburetor. And then there's a rubber boot that comes out and has a clamp on it, a rubber boot seal. Okay, that'll be here Monday, in 2 days or 1 day, you know, being that it's Sunday morning around 5 a.m. right now. Well, I want to thank, before I end this video, if there's anything that I can tell y'all to help. Wow. Because I like to help people, you know. I like to help when I can. I told y'all how to measure that ID bore on the back of those carburetors. You know, and, you know, just go buy a slide ruler for like $5. You don't even need the one with the gauge like I've got. And by the way, this one with the display gauge, it measures in inches or millimeters. I only paid $15 for this on eBay. That's all I paid for that. And it's good. I used it to, line up the rear axles on 3 of my Harleys just to be sure that they were straight. And I also have a video about aligning your rear axle on a Harley. An easier and more accurate way to do it. What else? What else? Well, what else? I'm also going to be making, this is some extra information. I don't know how many of you landscapers or homeowners are out there, but 2-cycle weed eaters. I bought 2 new Ryobi 25cc 2-cycle weed eaters and 2 home lights. Buy the Ryobi, and the reviews, the home light 2-cycle 26cc, they're a son of a bitch to start, and they're nothing but damn trouble. And I've had Ryobis in the past, and I just bought 2 new ones to have them for extra. They always start, and they work great, okay? Don't buy a damn home light if you can avoid it. Okay, what else? Or that's my opinion. It's my opinion. You should buy a Ryobi instead. Okay, anyway, later everyone.